There's a game that I recently completed that I want to talk about because I feel like it gets far more flack than it should have done upon release, and that game is Final Fantasy XVI. Now, Final Fantasy XVI is a game that has split opinions across the Square Enix community. I personally think it was a fantastic game with many faults, but it was still a great cohesive game and it was still fun to play. It was just that there was the odd fault and issue that I had with it, but that may just be personal opinion. Some people would prefer, maybe like the way things were done, and some people won't. But again, everyone's entitled to an opinion, and that's what makes the Final Fantasy game so great, is that every single one is at least a little bit different than the next, or the previous even. I'll start with the positives. The story is fantastic, it's beautiful, it's amazing, the language is brilliant, it's one of the best written video games ever, up there with like Legacy of Kain kind of level of language. It was fantastic. The combat was fun, it was very fun and very different. If you're a fan of the Devil May Cry games and Bayonetta games, and it's straight up for you. I really enjoyed it. And the boss fights, the summons fights, the icon fights I should say, every single one of them was fantastic and fun and entertaining, and without going into spoilers, just immense and crazy. I know the game's been out for a few months, but I don't want to spoil it for people who may not played it yet. I would highly recommend you getting this game and giving it a go, just for the icon fights. Now, going on to the stuff that I said, the negatives, so the side quests. Most of the side quests in this game are boring and a bit pointless. Yes, they develop characterization for some of the side characters and stuff like that. That's fantastic, it's great. But the side characters that you don't really care about, like most of the characters that you care about in this game, you are just going to be interacting with through the main story. Some of the side characters here and there are just bland, plain, fetch questy type of characters, like, oh, I need this for this, go fetch that, go kill that, which is all well and good on some games, but not in a Final Fantasy game when they can already be quite long. Saying that, this one was only about 50 hours I did it in, so obviously it's shorter than quite a few Final Fantasy games, but still I feel like the side quests could have been tweaked a little bit just to make them a bit more entertaining and a bit more interactive, because eventually you get to a point near the end of the game where it just bombards you with side quests, and you're right at the end of the story, like the last story mission's there staring at you in the face, but you've got to do 20 other side quests to get the 100% completion, and it kind of just takes the momentum away from the story, is how I felt anyway, especially after grinding them all out, and grinding out the levels and grinding out all the marks, like the hunts. So they were quite fun too, but eventually it just got a bit monotonous and grindy, doing all the extra stuff when the story was just that fantastic. You just wanted to see what was going to happen next. But all in all, I would say that Final Fantasy XVI is a fantastic game with just many faults, but it is still an entertaining, fun experience. And if you're into Final Fantasy games, it's very different to a lot of Final Fantasy games that you may have played, but it's still a great journey to go on. And Clive, the main character, is one of the greatest protagonists that they've ever created. I loved him, I think he was brilliant. The voice acting was amazing. A lot of the side characters in the main story characters were amazing. Dion especially, he's up there as one of the best characters in any video game ever. But yeah, it's just a fantastic game and it's a fantastic experience. And if you're into Final Fantasy games, I'd give it a go. If you're into Devil May Cry games, give it a bloody go, because it's basically just a Devil May Cry game with RPG elements. But it's great fun, and I really enjoyed all my time with it, minus the side quests. Thank you everybody who has watched this video. I really do appreciate it. If you want more videos like this, please just drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I will be trying to do more little mini reviews like this about games I've played. I was going to do one about Pokemon Scarlet, the new DLC, but I got that ragey with all the glitches in it. I thought I'd better not, because I'm not going to say anything nice. But thank you ever so much for watching, and hopefully see you soon. Take care.